We are here at Armada Games, and we are going to be unboxing World's Fair 1893 from Renegade Games and Foxtrot Games. This game is super sweet. We've been very excited to get our hands on it, heard a lot about it. So we're going to open it up, right?
We're going to open it.
Yeah, check it out.
It has been unsealed. But nice rule book. Pull those. Go ahead and pull those out.
Yeah.
Succinct rule book too.
All kind of cardboard.
Which we have already reviewed, but here are all the components for this game.
So the definite centerpiece here is the Ferris wheel section.
Yeah.
That the game kind of goes around.
It was the center point for the World's Fair in 1893, not
That's
1983,
right. No.
1893.
If you were to do a game about the World's Fair 1983, it'd be pretty boring.
I would imagine so. There was not as much like new technology things.
It'd be like, look, still computers.
Yep.
Yep, still happening.
So, various influence tokens, which of course, you'll need to know the rules for. The different sections for our influence, what are they called again?
It's going to be
supporters for the supporter cubes that will be going around the actual Ferris wheel, as well as coins and victory point tokens. And all these are actually fairly well sturdy. Like they actually did a very good job in piecing out the components for this particular game, which I'm very happy for.
Look at that.
What else do we have going on in that box?
So what's kind of cool is, first of all, bag of bags.
Bag of bags.
Much appreciated, Renegade. This is fantastic because...
Love it when they do those.
Gotta have bag of bags. Because I am super anal about making sure all my pieces are all, like, bagged individually. I do, like, player start bags and all that stuff.
Which don't work for this game.
Which does not work. I was very sad to see it. But bag of bags makes up for it. We've got cool cubes. Those are your supporter cubes. And we've got these cards here, which show projects and influential figures that you can collect during the game and use to get your projects approved and things like that.
Don't forget the midway tickets, which are
midway tickets, which are somewhere down in here,
in one of those two packets.
Rules reference cards, things like that. These are your supporters. These guys are going to make the dreams happen right here. These guys.
So each of these components, they come with quite a few of pretty much anything. We haven't actually run out in one of our test games, but yeah. So the components are very well made. The pieces actually fit together very well, which you'll see once we set up the Ferris wheel. So at that, I think we will be back in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and set the board up, right?
Yes, we're going to set the board up, let you see it, and we'll start explaining the rules of the game.
Tell you how to play.
So we are back with the game all spread out so you can see all the different components of it, and we'll start to explain a little bit about how the game works.
In World's Fair 1893.
Not 1983.
Not 1983. Each of the players takes on an organizer for the actual fair itself. And the fair had... The center point, of course, was the Ferris wheel, so that is the center point for this particular game. But there were also categories of exhibits for manufacturing, fine arts, transportation, electrical, and agricultural. So those are represented by the 5 pieces around the board. These are randomized at the beginning of each game, and then they're put in place, and then we'll go over what that means in a little bit. We have cards here, which represent projects for each one of them. Influential figures, which will add supporters to the board, as well as midway tickets, which is how the turn meter works. As we collect cards for each of the midway tickets that we collect, we're going to move this cart around one space around the Ferris wheel, and once it gets back down to here, we're going to enter a scoring phase. Go through this 3 times, and the game's over. So the way it works is there are going to be cards around the board, and during your turn, the player is going to take one of their supporter tokens and place it in an area. Say if I place it in electricity. I'm going to, if I have any influential figures from the prior rounds, play the influential figures. Once that is done, collect the cards from here. If there are midway tickets, I'll move the cart. The rest of the cards will go in front of me. I'll be able to use the influential figures on my following turn, and the projects will wait until the scoring phase. Once we get to the scoring phase, then whoever has the most influence in the particular areas will be able to approve their projects. And when they do that, they discard the card, collect one of these tokens that is for the particular area, of course, electricity, agricultural, fine arts, transportation, and manufacturing.
This legend on the bottom of the board here shows you how many points you score for a set of those. So, in a way, it's like a set collection game.
Yeah, it does have some set collection and area control mechanics involved along with it, yes. When we get to the scoring, midway tickets will be turned in for midway coins, which are victory points. The person with the most influence in each area will get to approve first or second, depending upon the number of players that are in the game. With the most influence in the areas will go ahead and be able to approve their projects, also getting first place and second place prize tokens. And then we just continue on as the game progresses. Go through this 3 times, we're done.
Yeah, 3 rounds, and we score, and whoever has the highest score wins.
Yep.
And the tiebreaker, funny enough, is the person with the most project-approved tokens. So that's a thing.
Yep. They are very important. You can't just overlook them.
So I think we're gonna crack this out. We will be having another playthrough video, which you can go check out, or you can just wait a second, and we'll come right back with the review of the game itself. So as promised, we have just finished the playthrough. Once again, you can find that video on our channel. The whole playthrough, we had Brad and Shay come in.
It'll be linked below.
Yeah, linked below. Played the entire thing out, and now we are here for our review of the game. There are some spoiler alerts based on what happened in the game, so if you care about that, you can go watch that video first. But if not, or if you've played it before, here we go.
Yep.
What's your initial opinions, Michael?
So Shay fairly well broke the game. Not really broke the game.
I wouldn't say all broken. Definitely called it midway ticket strategy for the win.
Oh, yes.
A little bit.
So at the end of the game, I ended up with 6 completed transportation projects, which is a bit more than you actually need. So Shay ended up in total with 10 projects, and ended up beating me by about 15 points, mostly on the back of the midway tickets.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, like the completion, once again, reminding them how things score. You get a total of 15 points for one of each of the 5 projects, a string of that.
It takes a lot of effort to get all 5 in. It
takes a lot. And, if you look at what he kind of finished up here, he got to 3, so that's 6 points apiece. And then he got one little 1-point dude right here.
Yeah. So, like, going on comparison, like, getting a full set's 15 points. There are 13 midway tickets to complete a round, plus the 2 extra if only one person is in first place. That's 15 points as well. So the amount of effort that you have to go through to actually get one of each versus just collecting 15 midway tickets over the course of the game, it's a lot easier to collect the midway tickets.
Yeah. Another thing he was doing, which I think worked out fortuitous based on how his cards were laid out, was,
he overloaded.
The influential figures are influential.
Yes, they are.
It's not just a clever name. The combos, and one neat thing about the game, as I'm sure you get to know the game more, is the combos you're able to pull off with putting supporters down on different areas is intense. And there's a few turns there where several of us were able to
like chain one in agricultural, and I get to play one nexus, so I'll go to electrical and play fine arts. Oh, and I'll move Ryan's from transportation to manufacturing. Yeah, completely shifting the balance on those. The influential figures do a lot.
So old Bertha, right? She is an influential figure who allows you to move any person's supporter to any other area. That's in the card text, and it's a little misleading because if you just go by the icons, because the iconography in this game is fantastic.
Bertha Palmer,
she'll do the thing. The iconography is great, so you'll see the icons explain themselves. Move place 1, and then place one in an adjacent area, or place 1, then place 1 in transportation.
Put 1 in blue in the transportation area.
I called that. That's good stuff. But Bertha Palmer. Card text reads that you may move any supporter to any area on the board. So when you play her, you can move obviously one of your people to rally up in another area like manufacturing where you're trying to get more people, or move someone out of that zone, which is huge. Like
in the last turn of the game, I played one to move one of Shay's supporters from electricity to agriculture, which broke the tie that I just created in electricity in my favor and made him first place in agriculture, which really
mean, netted him 4 points.
It did net him 4 points, which ended up being irrelevant because he beat us by so much. But also, Brad was sitting on 2 agricultural projects that he would have gotten to complete.
Yeah.
Because I moved the one over, Brad was now in second place and only got to complete 1. So there's actually a lot that you can do with the influential figures.
For sure.
Each of the different card types are very important. And just remember, set collecting games, sometimes it's hard to complete sets.
Yeah.
So if it takes a lot more effort, sometimes just go after a couple easier victory points, and it will actually, the amount of victory points you get off of the effort you have to put into it can end up winning you a game.
And that's the thing that's really cool with this game is that you can, by a decision of what set of cards you pick up, end a round, or dramatically shorten the length of a round on the board.
Yeah, there were many times where there were multiple midway tickets in a particular area. It was like in round 1, there were 2 spots that had 2 midway tickets that we were looking at. If I took them and then Ryan take it, if I took one and Ryan took the other, it ends the turn.
Yep.
But Brad didn't want the turn to end, so he avoided those 2 spots.
Yes, exactly.
And just to try to get an extra activation in that turn. So,
and it's rough when you want to end a round, but you're not going to win the midway ticket bonus.
Yeah.
So you're getting points on the face surface, 1 point apiece for the midway tickets you take. But if someone else is already leading it, and that's kind of a theme in this game, if someone's leading an area by a large margin, say manufacturing, why put your guys there when you could put them somewhere else? The same thing applies to midway tickets, applies to everything else in this game. So it is about competing very heavily with the other players for control of those areas.
Yeah, there are 6 effective areas that you can control, the 5 areas on the board in the midway tickets. And the further, in most resource management games or worker placement or area control games, when somebody gets really far ahead in one of those areas, you have to start looking and see, is it going to be worth your effort? Oh, I need to put 3 guys, I need to take 3 actions to put guys in electricity, and then if at any point while I'm putting those 3 supporters in electricity, Shay puts 1 more in there, I just wasted 3 actions because I'm still in second.
Even if you can find an influential figure that would let you double down electricity or pull off some combo, you got to think about where the Ferris wheel is and how many tickets are out, and how will I have time
to not overlook
to pull the
combo tickets.
The midway tickets are huge. They put a huge onus on your opponents to actually maybe make some mistakes or to push some things forward. Overall, I think that the game is great. It definitely looks more confusing maybe or complicated when you first look at it. It looks heavier when you first look at the game. But when you get through a round, it kind of opens up a lot. And you realize that it's actually pretty elegant in the way it's designed.
You know all those television series that your friends tell you that you just have to get to the 2nd season in order to actually appreciate? Get through, if you haven't played World's Fair before, sit down, play through a full round with everybody. Get through a round, go through all the steps, go through all the scoring, and then sit back for just a second and either go ahead and decide to continue the game or to just restart, because there's a lot of in the game that the rule book is all of 12 pages.
Yeah, super short.
2 pages are setup, 2 pages are rules, 2 pages are explanations, and then
scoring.
And then the back cover, by the way, has the map of the World's Fair.
It's cool.
So it's the rules are very light, but the gameplay is expansive.
Yes.
Each of the different the organization of the different areas, because even their placement will determine what you can do with the play adjacent. When you have the influential figure that lets you play into an adjacent spot, is going to change what you can do each time. Replayability, very high.
Yeah, the randomization here is huge. It seems like it really facilitates 2 to 4 well and means it.
Yep.
Which is great. I think that in teaching this game, like Michael said, definitely play around through and figure it out. But when you get past that point, this game, what I like about it, and you'll hear us dote on this a lot because we're all huge fans of this design concept, is a game that is scalable. Yes. So a game that scales with the level or the gamerly level of the players playing it. This game seems like you could very easily play this game with beginning gamers that would just simply cause and affect their way through the system and have a good time doing it. Mm-hmm. Or you could sit 4 gamers like ourselves through here, and you could think out your move forever. It's that kind of game, which is because I march from me, for that scalability.
Also, one of the things I do love about this game is the Ferris wheel. Yes, the Ferris wheel, not the merry-go-round.
No, don't call it that.
One side of the large piece is marked 3 to 4 players. The other side is marked 2 players. Then the top piece, one side is for 4 players and one is for 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So you are going to actually assemble this for 2 players, for 3 players, or for 4 players, which is the number of different midway tickets before you get into the final rounds. It's a very well done centerpiece, and it looks fantastic.
And it really, with how modular it is, and it doesn't take up that much actual room to play the game.
This could easily be played on a regular card table, or even maybe like an end table, probably a little bit bigger than that.
Right beside your door, the thing that catches your keys, you can just like lay this on there, and then you can stand there and play.
Well, we need to have little things that will have each of the components on like razors, but that would be good to go.
All on doilies as well.
Oh yeah. Overall, components are fantastic. Gameplay is awesome. Replayability is high.
Yeah.
It has a fantastic table presence. It makes very good. The artwork is very nice. And if you watch through the video, you'll notice that there were several times that we started reading off the cards. Mm-hmm. I haven't gone through to see if all of the cards are unique yet, but almost everyone that we read.
I don't think I ran across too many doubles in there.
I'm going to go through and check just to be sure. But they all have, I'm going to try to do a close-up here, see if I can get this correct, of one of the cards, which we should probably also put in like an image overlay or something like that. But each one of them have a different exhibit from the actual 1893.
Yeah, not today.
The 1893's World Fair, and each one of them have little like tidbits of information on them, like wrought iron gates. The central gates of the German exhibit was the largest wrought iron work of art ever made. Yeah, and you go through, and there's like bicycles and Tower of Lights, and every one of these is just different. Parts of it, like thematically, it is done very well. Probably going to be one of my top games for a very long time.
Yeah. The one thing is that if you are a fan of sleeving games, the cards are a kind of smaller size, so you may have to look out for like some sleeves that kind of look for those online and see if you can find the right dimensions, because they are kind of smaller cards. But the thing is, the cards, you don't really have them in hand at all in the game.
No, everything is face up. Like
everything's open information.
The only thing that is rough is like you do have to you will end up shuffling them multiple times per game.
Yeah, for sure.
So you probably do want to sleeve them, and they are a little bit of an odd size, but I'm sure that there are sleeves available.
Oh, for sure. So yeah, I mean, in wrapping it up, I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we could go on for another hour and a half, and I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to sit through that. No. And I'm pretty sure we could actually talk through it. But yeah, game rate is going to rate very high
for sure.
And yeah, it should be all good to go. Do you have anything else to say?
No. Besides, this game has the price points right, and you can find it from Renegade Games and Foxtrot Games. It is good stuff, and so we'll see you later on. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the playthrough, definitely stream down there and check it out. It's pretty fun. Shay crushes us. You get to watch Shay, which he does that a lot.
Also, this is the first time we have tried the dual format videos with the unboxing and playthrough, or the unboxing and reviewing of a game and having a playthrough on a separate video. So please, if you like this format, go ahead and comment below. If you think we should go back to talking less and playing the game more, comment that as well.
Shut your mouth and play the game.
Yep. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, G+, all of them social media sites.
Everything.
YouTube, which you're watching this right now. Thank you. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and comment.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll be back for more of this good stuff.
Yep.
Adios.
Thank you.